everybody. This is Roctavia Rose with Rock News UK, and I have Jamppa here with me from Steve and Seagulls. We're going to talk a little bit about his band and everything going on in their world. Hi, Jamppa. How are you today?
Hello. I'm very good. How are you?
Good. I didn't get that right off the bat, you guys. We practiced before we started. I'm gonna out myself here. I wanted to make sure I pronounced his name correctly. So I'm cool, but I'm not that cool.
That was perfect pronunciation.
So right off the bat, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into music?
About myself, I'm the bass player in the band called Steve and Seagulls. Do you want me to introduce myself or our band?
You can do both.
Okay, yeah. Well, for me, my background in music is I started playing violin when I was 5 years old and changed it to electric bass and then double bass, and I've been studying a lot. Like I had my master's degree in jazz music actually.
Cool.
And I'm a new member in this band actually. So I've been in Steven Seagal's 2.5 years, but the band has been out there, let's say 7 years already.
All right.
Or even more. And the other guys have played together more than 10 years, except me and the new drummer.
Awesome. So, do you want to like give us a little bit of background on how you guys come together, yourself and Steven Seagulls?
Yeah, the band started that they played a different kind of music, and this was kind of a side project at first. And all the guys from the band, from the original band, they've been studying in the same city, in Jyväskylä, Finland. And then they just started doing these cover songs and made the video, and it just went viral, and that's how the story began. And for me, I knew the former drummer and all the other guys beforehand, but the former drummer Puikkonen was my high school friend. So when the former bass player, he had these back issues, so he couldn't travel anymore. So they actually, this doesn't happen actually often, but they called me home and will you come to this band? Usually that's what they say. It never happens, but that happened with me.
So I love that you studied jazz too. So you play, you probably play have you played like rockabilly stuff and like a lot of stand-up bass stuff, and for like quite a while then, right?
Yeah, upright bass. I've been playing maybe 15 years.
Cool.
Or now. But I haven't played rockabilly or this slapping kind of thing before I came to this band, so I had to learn this kind of approach again. But I play also a lot with the bow, and that comes from the classical background also.
So for those who don't know, why don't you tell us a little bit about the band's sound, just in case that they don't realize it's kind of like a little different than like your just normal everyday rock and roll.
Yeah. So people have tried to ask us to describe the style of our music, and there's been like every kind of words out, but I think this style that I would call it like new grass. So we have kind of, so it's kind of a bluegrass but more rock, and there's some new stuff also. So we have instruments from bluegrass and like Finnish, old Finnish like instruments. Like we have accordion, and then we have upright bass, we have banjo, mandolins, guitars, drums, and even flutes, and I play also violin in a few songs, and also we sing. Yeah.
So, what made you decide to go with the bass? Like, did you have any musical heroes or influences that made you decide to pick bass as your instrument?
Not me. I don't know. I think it was because I was in the elementary school, and I was in the music like class. So I was the only one who could play the bass in the beginning. So that's how it started. But I also like to be there, like in the bottom, like area of the music, because you have a lot of like responsibility, but you also have a lot of power. Like you can change all the music playing 100%. Bass.
Yes. So like I couldn't agree with you more. I play all 4 saxophones, soprano, alto, tenor, and baritone, which is kind of difficult. I have the amateur to do all of them, but my favorite is bari sax. I love like the deep bass. I don't know. It could be because part of it I play drums too. It could be because of like you're essentially responsible for time. You keep time. You keep things in order. You know, and you're kind of the foundation that everything's kind of built on. And I love like, especially when you get the super low notes and you have that kind of like that heart and soul. You're like the meat of everything. You know what I mean? Like,
and those are the notes you can actually feel in your body.
Yes.
Oh,
perfect way to describe that.
Yeah.
I'm curious how the band's name came about. It's different. It's out there. So I was like, okay. How'd they come up with that name?
There was like it came from Herman's, our banjo player's wife, actually, or girlfriend, how you want to say it. She just made it up. Somehow.
She just made it up out of the blue. Out of the sky, and there it was. Okay.
It sounded like us. It sounded like they say that it sounded perfect for the name and for the time of the band. That's us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know
there's nothing more to say about the name. That's just
it's kind of hard though. It's hard to just come up with band names. Like I figured, like, especially things that stick, and for her to be able to just be like, "Yep, that's it."
Like, band names
and pretty cool.
And also the names of the tunes. That's like names are the worst thing that you have to figure out.
You are not lying. There is no lie there.
Yeah.
100% truth. So can you tell me what has been, either as a band or for you personally, Jamppa, what is one of your most memorable moments with Steve and Seagulls?
I think for them, it's been like these big festivals and the band has been playing in US for 7 tours already. I've been only one. I've been playing only one, but I think that was the best thing ever since because I always wanted to get there, and we were there 3.5 weeks just touring around US, and I think that was so different.
What was I gonna ask?
The US tour, it was my first.
Was that your very first time like coming over here?
No, actually I've been there once before in Santa Fe, because I was there in this workshop where actually my teacher there was John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin for 1 week. And that was my first time in US, and the second time I was touring there for 1 month. So US has been good to me.
Good. Awesome. I love Santa Fe. That's where I don't know if you can see, but all my turquoise, that's where my turquoise comes from. I love it there. It's so beautiful down there. It's a really cool place.
Yeah.
And then my other question is is there anything that you really love about being over here, or anything that you miss?
Uh, I think the people there is very nice. That like the crowd, it's different than in Europe. I'm not saying that Europe is bad anyway, but it's different, and that's nothing that we haven't used to so much.
Great
Like people
answer.
are very, very, very polite, and
Yeah.
they're with us, like the crowd when we're playing. So we get a very good connection every time we play.
I get that. I can understand that. That I don't know. There's something not to knock like the audiences in Europe. I feel like there are a lot of like really killer bands that come from overseas. So I feel like maybe they're a little spoiled. They get like all these like huge bands and they're just like, okay, cool. We see you. You're cool. But like when you guys come over here and we have like we just latch on to new bands from like all over the world so hard. It's so much fun and like it's almost like we're all rooting for you guys. Like we love to just
Yeah.
lift everybody up and we're like, yeah, woo, go, you got this.
Yeah.
And we
feels
love
very
a
nice.
good
Yeah.
party over here. That's
Yeah.
part of it too. We really love a good party over here. So
Yeah.
there's nothing better than some really good rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then I love how unique like the bluegrass mixes in with like the rock vibes and like everything from you guys is nothing. It's kind of like your music are like little fingerprints, you know, like they're unique to you guys, but there's so much, everything is so much different from everybody else. It's like your own little special signature. I that's the only way that I could put it, like musical snowflakes. I don't know, like everything is unique and different. I like it. I like the sound.
Yeah.
My partner Andy, I think he saw you guys play live and he loved it. Yeah, he took pictures and everything and he loved it. Nice. So like I look forward to you guys coming over here and getting some more video and pictures and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think we're planning to come there next year.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
I'd love to photograph and do the videos, so that'd be cool. On that note, what made you guys decide? I don't know if you have a really good answer for this, but what made you guys decide to combine bluegrass with like the rock vibes, like to have it be like, you know how there's new metal, there's new grass, like
yeah, it came from, well, the instrument orchestration was because Herman started to play banjo, and Hiltunen, he's been playing accordions for so long, and we use that in Finnish Slager music, like, and so it just came actually from the cover songs, that the idea that let's play cover songs with these bluegrass instruments, and that's how the style developed,
right,
in a way. Yeah.
So my experience with Finnish music, I don't know if you've heard these guys. I swear I talk about them all the time. I'm obsessed. I don't know if you've heard of Heavy Saurus.
Heavy Saurus from Finland.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I love Heavy Saurus.
Okay, that's cool.
It's a kids band.
Yeah, but it's a great
band. Faces. I love them. Like I love how hard Finland goes with their rock, that they embed it into the children's brains early. I love that.
Oh, that's nice. I'm amazed that you know actually about the band.
I'm obsessed, actually. I more than know. I'm obsessed. I wish I could speak the language, but I can muddle through things. I'll sit in the car and try. So, but I love it. I am addicted to it. So what, on that note, what's your favorite cover, and why? Which one do you like performing the most?
For now, because we released the new album, and that's the first one I'm playing in. So of course, from there, I can find the favorite song. There's few of great covers. I think we have, like, the first one is of course the classic Master of Puppets.
Yes.
But And yeah, but also I like this version of Kansas song that Carry On Wayward Son.
Yeah, that's a popular
So,
one.
so I think those are, yeah, I think those are the biggest covers in this album. But I think I love to play them all actually. So it's very difficult to say one favorite or even two.
So, do you think you guys would release like a bunch of originals now that you have like the new band members, or are you just gonna stick with covers?
Yeah, actually, in the newest album, we have 6 originals and 5 covers. And the former album, it had 2 or 3 originals. So it's going in a bit that way. Of course, we're never gonna stop playing covers because that's where the sound comes, and that's our origin. So we can't forget that.
Right. That's what's.
But we're
for sure.
Yeah, but still we're we're making like we're composing new tunes of our own, and we've got a lot good feedback from them. So I think we're gonna continue with that also.
So another question for you with it involves gigging. So what's your favorite thing to do to prepare for like a gig? Like, do you have like a ritual or something that, you know, just soothes you or brings you comfort before a gig?
Yeah, it depends a lot
Okay.
of the time that we have, because sometimes there's no time to do anything. So I think everyone has their own kind of rituals. Like one drinks 1 beer, it can be a ritual for one. And there's one who brushes teeth every time before the gig.
Really?
Yeah, and there's one who goes for a walk for like half an hour before the gig, and one plays like warms up with the instrument. And I don't think I have a ritual actually. I'm just going with the flow every time.
No worries. I mean, like, to each their own. Um, I don't know. Like, it's interesting to know like what people do to like, you know, just kind of work through. Some people have jitters before they go on. Some people just like to like just be mellow. They don't really get nervous. But like, I've always wondered, like, you know, everybody has their own thing that they like to do. I've always been kind of curious about it, but you know, thanks for being such a good sport and answering that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it depends. If you're tired, well, then you have to do some push-ups or something to get like away. Like that's the thing, that it depends so much on your mood. If you're very energetic and you have time, then you can just relax. But if you sometimes it's when you start traveling very early in the morning and you've been traveling the whole day, and then the gig is like 1 a.m.
Yes.
So that's like the worst time. You just have to like boost up yourself, and it's not healthy to do it every time with the booze or like some alcohol. So
right. By the way, this is alcohol. This is water. I don't know if you can see it. It's water in a can. It's not booze.
That's good to know.
But yeah, I get it. I understand. So like, I kind of curious, what do you have musically on heavy rotation right now, like in your personal kind of wheelhouse? Like what are you really into listening right now?
That's a difficult question. I was thinking about that actually today, and I didn't get an answer for myself either. So because I've been listening so much to books, like electronic, like ebooks for now. And that's my thing. When I go for a walk or jogging, I don't listen to music anymore. I just listen to books.
Really?
Yeah. And that's even, for me, that's like
your decompress, like your relaxing thing.
Yeah, but when I listen to music, for me it's still in the jazz area. Like I have these Spotify lists that I just listen, like the new. I try every time I try to find something new music. So I'm not, yeah, I'm not stuck in the old lists that I'm listening. So that's why it's very difficult to say that is there like some kind of exact band or something
Well,
that I listen.
you can. It's just me and you right now. Okay, you can talk to me about it. Who do you like? Like, are you more like a Thelonious Monk kind of dude, or you throw on some Coltrane, or
Yeah, in a way,
big band
I
in
am.
there? Some Gershwin.
I've been studying a lot, like the 50s, 60s style,
Yeah.
like the and like cool jazz and this kind of area is very familiar. Of course, the bebop era that's what you have to learn too. But yeah, I'm sometimes I just put my quintet to play, and that's amazing every time. But sometimes I just try to figure out what's like, because the jazz music is developing all the time.
It's very true.
So yeah, and it
Very,
mixes.
very improvisational. It is
Yeah,
what you make it, for sure. And you hear something new every time you listen in. So I love that you're really into jazz. That's cool.
yeah.
That's really cool. But what was the other question that I had for you guys? Oh yeah. Is there anything that you want to tell your international audience about Another Miracle? Like, can you elaborate a little bit more on it for us, or like, do you have anything that you really want to bring to the table about the album?
There's a lot of powerful songs from us, and besides all the great songs that we are covering, we have very nice songs of our own. And I think the band from the previous albums, the band has been developing a lot, and the sound is a lot different. It's more fresh and more like this day for me.
Yeah.
Of course, because I'm playing there, so I have to boost it. But and there's some nice, because there's a lot of singing power in our band. So there's 4 guys singing the same time we're playing, so it sounds very big. And there's also some strings that actually I played all the strings there, like the violas and violins and cellos, and everyone has come up with their like special instruments. There's like recorders, and there's every kind of little details that you can't find them maybe first time you're listening, that you have to listen to these songs many times that you can get all the info what's there.
Understandable. I'm curious about, like, since you guys just released another album, like, I'm just kind of wondering, like, what do you guys have in store? What's up next? Like, what do you have planned? Did you just come off of like a tour? Because I know we were trying to connect, but you guys were in France.
Yeah, we were in Luxembourg and France for 7 days maybe, and before that we were 2 weeks in England. So those were and we were in the summer, we were in Sweden. So those were the first tours after this whole mess what's been going on.
Yeah.
And by the time that we couldn't travel or play gigs, so we made this YouTube series, Seagulls Nest. And actually this background picture is, I didn't notice that in the beginning, but it's from our nest. So there's we made 6 episodes, and in every one there is guests from another bands, like there's Tarja Turunen, and there's Nora Louhimo, Sami Jaffa. There's like Finnish international rock singers or players, and we're gonna continue with that maybe as soon as possible. So we're gonna make new episodes for that, and of course we're composing all the time new music, and we even have we recorded more songs than we put in the album. So there's something is coming soon, for sure.
Fantastic. So, what would your ultimate tour actually look like? Like, from your opener to, or even just your favorite venue or your favorite place to go? Like, what would that look like for you?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, what would that look like? Well, of course, for our show, like the stage, what we're doing on stage. So the stage has to be big enough. Because
There's a lot of y'all.
Well, we're moving a lot in the States.
That too.
Sometimes, yeah, yeah, that's true. But when it's a small stage, so all the show element is missing easily. That we can just stand there, and it feels like we need to get moving, and we have to like go with the flow and move our bodies with the music. I think otherwise well, of course, I could say that the acoustics is very important thing. But I'm not sure. There's been so many different kind of venues and so many different kind of openers and stuff. And so I think there's good sides in every kind of place, because if it would be the same every time, it would get boring.
Yes.
So that's why it's every time interesting when we're going to a new place, that what's going on here, and because the show is gonna be different every time. So there's no like one good venue or place to be.
As long as you're out there in it, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like we are actually past, I think we're past our half hour, or like right.
Oh, okay.
So
it went so fast.
I know. I say that like every time, but it's so true. Like when you're talking about passions, it just
yeah,
so I always kind of end things off with a weird or goofy or off the cuff kind of question. So my question for you would be, what is your favorite place to holiday that Seagulls might enjoy, or that would feature Seagulls?
That would feature Seagulls.
Where there's a bunch of Seagulls. Like, what would be your favorite place to holiday?
Okay, so it should be in the coast area.
Right.
Probably. I'm not actually sure where in every, like, Seagulls, where they live, like in every place in the world. So I'm gonna give this easy answer. So it would be a nice summer cottage where there is sauna, there's some beer, some good food, and of course a good weather. And it's on the lake, like by the lake, and there's a boat, we can go fishing and we can just relax. I think that's the perfect place.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful. Because like, believe it or not, there are seagulls in places where you wouldn't think that there would be. Like, we have a lot of them here in Chicago, but we have a huge inland lake that kind of like resembles oceanic, kind of like a sea kind of thing, and we have tons of around. So like that's totally doable. I like your idea of a nice cabin with good beer.
Yeah, that's the perfect place.
All right, so now is the time that you give everybody a little bit of information about the band. Now is the time for you to take the floor, and you can plug your socials or tell us, your international audience, about whatever you want to talk to us about. Where's your
what do I want to talk about? I think it's great that the world is opening again, that we get to go to real gigs, and I hope that everyone goes there and to enjoy live music and support all the artists and the venues and all the organizers for the music business, because that's what we need right now. We need good music to the world again. like the live music, I mean.
Yeah, very true. Why don't you go ahead and give us your socials and tell everybody where they can find your music?
Yeah, you can find from our YouTube channel, Steven Seagulls, and also our website is www.stevenseagulls.com, and you can also find us from Twitter and from Instagram. In Instagram, we are called the Steven Seagulls Band. In Twitter, we are Steven Seagulls, I'm sure. And we also opened this TikTok page, but I'm responsible of that. But it's been tough for me now because, well, I'm trying to get something out there, but it's in the beginning. There.
I'm in the same boat. Don't worry about it.
There's so many platforms and also you can find the Spotify, us from Spotify. And of course, I have to say that from our website, you can order a lot of nice stuff. You can order CDs, vinyls, and T-shirts, and Herman hats, and whatever you want, if you feel like that.
Nice. Plug in the merch. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you so much for your time, Jamppa, right?
Thank you very much. Yeah, perfect.
I have been Roctavia Rose with Rock News UK. And wherever you can, whenever you can, go ahead and check out Steven Seagulls. And we will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes. Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.